I'm Steve. I'm 43. I'm from Central California. I work for U.S. government. I'm a senior director.
Why is it that you initially joined?
The world, I guess, we're about 6 months into COVID. Fall of 2020, work was still churning. The way we did work had changed a bit. And so managing and leading people had changed a bit. And in that first 6 months, I noticed I'd never been like the super fit guy, but I had always I'd for a long time maintained at a certain level. And I noticed that I'd gained probably, 15, 20 pounds from when COVID started, and was just run down at the end of, most weeks. And about midway through the week, I'd start feeling it. By Friday, it was just like, oh, I'm shot. And was, kind of playing catch up on weekends, and vicious cycle. In hindsight, energy was sapping, but it was also starting to affect my mood, and just demeanor is probably the better way to say that. I was kind of getting shorter in terms of patience with people, getting kind of run down when we were kind of having difficult conversations with kind of peers or senior people that I was dealing with across other parts of my team, or not my team, but other teams that we were encountering. And it was having, starting to impact work performance, leadership, how I engaged with others. And, it was getting frustrating. And, that frustration was it was like an avalanche, right? It just was building on itself, and just kind of caused me to just get to the point where it's just like, all right, this is more than just some usual cycle that might, bad cycle or bad season. This is more than COVID. This is, there's something wrong. Something's off here. I'm sick of it. It's like, all right, it's time to do something different.
What specific toll did it start to take on your life personally and professionally? It
was getting to a point where it was just like getting frustrating. And I was just getting to the point where I was like, all right, I can't do this at this clip anymore in my job and in my profession. And I was starting to go, do I need to shift to a new job? Do I need to find something else? This isn't working. I'm not happy. So either I need to make a change in myself, or I need to make a change in my job.
What specific results have you gotten from being in the accelerated method and just being part of this world? Like, what specific results have you gotten?
So my sleep has gone from probably 4 to 5 hours a night on average before we started, and really inconsistent bedtimes, get up times, to still probably my weakest point, but averaging about 6.5 hours depending on the week.
Nice.
Pretty consistent at getting up at the same time. Still fighting with when I get to bed, but it's definitely improved on an overall basis. I've lost something like 45, 46, 47 pounds, something like that. The fact that we're not exact pounds anymore tells you that, how different it is. Eating better. And even as COVID here has changed and we're all kind of getting back in the world, those habits have, those improvements and habits have maintained themselves. So it's not like you were locked down, so of course you ate better. It's stayed with me. The attitude is where it should be and where it usually always was. Energy is consistent across the week. Weekends aren't just buried in playing catch up. When we started going back to the office, I don't think I had a pair of pants that fit. And it was noticeable beyond that. I mean, jackets, shirts don't really fit either. And we've talked about that, at some point in the next couple of months, there's going to have to be a full on replacement. We've gone well beyond the before you gain the weight phase. We've well beyond that. I'm at a place physically that I haven't been in forever. So it's a completely different ballgame.
Do you remember where you started in terms of shirt size and where are you now? And then the same with waist size and where you are now?
If you want to use the classic measurements, I would have been I was almost always an XL. Now we're at a point like t-shirts and polo and golf shirts, things like that. And now I'm sometimes a medium, sometimes a large, depending on the make and all that stuff. Waist size wise, I was wearing 36, 38 kind of dress pants, jeans, and I at most 33. I think I'm probably closer to 30, jeans and pants, they're a little bit bigger. They're not really that measurement, but 33, 32 now.
Where have you noticed that energy really showing up for you now compared to before?
Certainly for a while there, it was like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, I was like, energy's pretty good. End of the day, you're a little bit dragging, but not too bad. But by Wednesday, I was noticing this like kind of starting to degrade. Thursday, you'd get the energy up, but then by lunchtime, it'd be going down. Friday, it was just like, all right, I'm just shot. Get me through the day. I don't want to, don't schedule anything serious because I don't want to like I just don't want to deal with it today. Now energy's pretty consistent daily. There's even a little bit of pep in the morning, like, we're talking like 5:30 is not what anyone who's known me for 20 years would tell you is my normal MO.
Where was the energy on the weekends before you started? Where is it now? And what are you doing with that extra energy?
Before COVID, a lot of the weekend was log as much sleep as possible, try to bank it for, or make it up for the week before. So, way more, a lot of sleep. Now the weekends are a lot of outdoors time, whether it's hiking, golfing, sailing, hanging out with buddies, date at a beer garden or something. I'm probably outside 10, 12 hours a day on a Saturday or a Sunday. The amount of steps that I'm logging is ridiculous in terms of just, your 25, 30,000 steps in a day, but when you're golfing 18 and hiking up a mountain, it's kind of going to happen.
How have you noticed that your attitude, where was it before and how has it changed for the better?
Your nerves aren't as short when you aren't running out of gas. When you're not sleepy, hungry, frustrated, pick your emotion. You're not letting the emotions drive how you feel instead of you're driving how you feel. And then those emotions bounce, we're all human. They hit us, but you're not letting them drive the train. They're a passenger, if you want to put it that way.
How specifically did this impact other areas of your life?
There's been way more churn and excitement at work than I would have predicted during the pandemic. And we've dealt with that. We've dealt with the pandemic effect and having to do dramatic changes in how we do business. Coaching people remotely. My friends are like, wait, who is this guy? I haven't seen this guy in forever. I'm dating more actively than I have been in a while. So it's changed the personal life that way too. I feel consistent. I feel present. I feel way more actively engaged than I have been in a while.
How's this been different than anything you've ever experienced before?
It's not a quick fix. It's not we're going to work out and work you to the ground. Let's look at this kind of across the board. Let's recognize that, you're not some 20-year-old in college. You don't have all day to spend in the gym or with weights. Let's also recognize that you're not 30 and you can't just run it off. But, look at food, look at sleep, look at stress, look at, where are you at mentally? Where are you at across, we've addressed any range of things. I have tried lots of different things. I'm 43. It's not like this is something that just happened. We really got after kind of, symptoms, but then causes. Didn't take over all the time. Didn't require like some kind of crazy crash diet.
What specific thing do you like the most about this entire program and just the working relationship in general?
There's consistency, right? Whether it's, I know what I got my daily movement. I know what I need to log that day to keep, because keeping the data is critical to getting it right. You are always available. It's a system, but the system is customized and it fits and it's tailored. It really is about how do we collaborate and cause this to happen? I'm putting in the work, but I'm not just randomly putting in work because I got someone who's consistently saying, all right, let's try this. Yeah, progress or what's going on here? What
was the biggest worry or concern you had about joining the program on day one?
I was most concerned, like, am I going to really be able to pull this off? And what's this going to look like? But we really quickly found, here's what it is. Here's what you need to do. When I had some questions about, whether it was a movement or am I doing this right? Shot them over, got some answers back. Whether it was just a quick verbal or, hey, here, let me show you. It was pretty quickly dealt with.
What did I do, or the program in its entirety, do at the core to alleviate your skepticism entirely?
Just that, that consistency and persistence and frequency and showing up. and just being consistent in who you are and how you approach things. It wasn't like physical, food, sleep, stress, whatever, kind of the same regular approach.
What would you tell that gentleman right now if you had to look him right in the eye virtually? And he's really on the fence. He's very on the fence about reaching out, filling in the application, the form, sending that email, dropping me a message, or just hopping on the call with me in general. What would you tell him right now if he's really on the fence about something?
If you're on the fence, but leaning just over the fence, take the plunge. It works. And if you're ready to make the change and put in the investment, and we're not talking about a massive, you have to change everything kind of investment, it is so well worth it. The results speak for themselves. The physical is great. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But the energy, the just kind of renewed confidence, and even, maybe a little bit more drive to purpose, if you want to use that phrase, is real. The first 90 can do a lot in the first 90 days. Try it and let your own results speak for themselves. It's worth, making that move.